But this second part is what I wanted to do. You know, the one I did was the first part.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and share your screen again. Let me see so that you can conclude it.
So it will not be dot count, right?
Exactly.
Why is my Python not automatically giving me an indentation, the next indentation, until I click here,
Until you click where?
until I start another cell below.
No, no.
Before I used to start.
What you do is that probably you are using a different command. Just press shift and enter while you are in the current cell.
That is what I did.
Oh, yeah, press
It
it.
has it has accepted the syntax, but it's not giving me another cell below
That
where I can
that
now
is what I'm saying
perform
now.
another.
I'm on the same page with you. What I'm saying is that there is one that you will use that you will not get another cell. So press shift and enter. Let me see what you are going to get. Shift and enter. Shift and enter. Uh-huh. So you have been
Okay,
executing
I've
with
done it.
control plus enter. That is why if you press control plus enter, it will not give you additional cell. Can we proceed now?
Okay, shift enter will give me the next one.
Yes. Control enter will just execute only that particular cell. Can we continue now? Okay, you are yet to execute it.
It's one.
All right. Which
It's
is,
telling me that it's one. The
yes,
total count is
that
one.
was exactly what I got. All right, so let's proceed. Let me share my screen now so that we can proceed, which means that that is well understood. So let's quickly look at the next aggregate uh, function. Now, the next one, uh, which is still multiple criteria, will be the mean, that is the average. So let's assume that the company wants to know the average, the total average of this particular outputted value. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the question from country to item type so that I can have more than one item. Because if I am still having one item, the average will give me the same value with what? Sum. So let's quickly go ahead.
Okay.
Application of,
My item type, I did not rename it. Oh.
okay, you can still do that. You are supposed to rename each of these tags so that in case you want to put your summary analysis, you'll be able to identify what you did. Now, application of average, average function, which is represented in Python with mean. Remember, uh, what is the task? The task is what is the total average of baby food item sold where sys channel is offline. So this is the insights we want to derive. So the syntax will be total, start by creating my data objects, total average underscore baby food, item, is equals to the name of the data set. I will have copied, but I'm running them again so that we can get used to the syntax. So even if they wake up us anytime, we should be able to know the syntax. So query, then the single string. Now, the first criteria is where item type is equals to this. So I'm taking the whole of this since I've activated my single string. Then I am pasting it right in here. Then here I am also selecting, the same total revenue, Control C, and then pasting it here. Then concatenating this time around mean instead of count or sum because we are looking for the average. So I execute it. So I get my result stored in my object, which is this. So I can just take this, Control C, and then come here, paste, then run. So this is the total what average. So what happened here is if we do it for sum, let's say we calculate the sum, because from what I have explained before in the previous class, I said the difference between sum and average is that sum we add everything and give you the total. Why average we add everything and give you that total, but this time around it will divide it by the total number of what? Entries. And that is how we arrive at this. I hope that is clear before I go to the next one. Is that clear?
Let me handle it too.
Okay. Oh yeah, quickly. So
But let me do it.
yeah, go ahead.
Do I share?
Yes, share your screen so that we.
Okay.
It's coming up. Okay. Please increase it.
Stop your sharing. Are you seeing me?
Yes, I am. Go ahead, sir.
Can you see me?
Can you hear me now?
I'm with you.
Oh, sorry. Okay, let me see what you. Why are you getting this error?
I've corrected it.
Okay.
That is the answer.
All right, so perfect. All right. So let's quickly proceed. You can unshare. Doing well.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so so that is all about applying or the application of the same aggregate functions for answering multiple analysis questions. So now we are looking at another concept which is actually optional depending on you, which is application of query. So this is what we are actually looking at. So we are done with all this. So this is
But can there be like triple conditions?
yes, try it. No limits. No limits.
Okay,
The only
okay.
thing is that
In that case, you now put and.
exactly. Or you know what? Let me give you time. Class work. So do it. Let me watch you. Do for 3 condition now. Let's confirm it before we proceed.
Okay, let's see which kind of query can we deduce from there.
Okay,
Okay,
let's get the
where
question.
says eh?
Let's construct the question. Go ahead. Let's get the question first.
Okay, where says channel is equals to um offline and unit price is greater than.
Good. Unit price is greater than. Okay. What will happen is that let me just apply it here so that we can move faster. Then you can also try it. Now, it means that what I will do is that let me just edit one of the one I have constructed to answer that question, or let's quickly do it again. It's still part of it so that we'll get more grounded. So let's say for 3 conditions. For 3 conditions, and what is the analysis task? The analysis task is what is the total profits from baby food item type, comma, where where item type, where 6 channel, where 6 channel is online, and let me look at this. And Adibin, we have added the underscore to this. So we'll have just say where our date is equals to a particular date. But now I'm looking at which other one I can use here. All these ones have not really modified their header, so it will be difficult. Okay,
Which of them?
these ones, there are 2 words description, and we have not modified them by adding underscore. So I will have just say where order of priority is equals to H. So I'm looking at a header
Order of priority equals to what?
equals to H.
Order of priority. I
But
can modify my order of priority immediately now.
okay, go ahead. You can do that, but I don't want to. It's like you have already done your own, right? You have already edited the
No, I will just go and add it in the edit query and run it to
okay.
immediately on.
Okay, so just go and add it. So I'm just trying to look at
Because where I edited is not far from where we are.
okay, okay, but let me see. I think my own is far from there. Let me see if mine is not also far from here. It's far from here. Okay, so let's use your own then. Just let me see if I can
Okay.
maneuver.
I've updated the order of priority, okay?
Okay, so just Share your screen.
Okay, the question is what is the total profit of baby food item
Yeah,
sold where the channel is?
share your screen.
Eh?
Share your screen. Let's use your own since you have been able to modify. Share your screen. Let me use your own to complete it. Okay. So if you can zoom a little from that same place where you zoomed the other time. So the question is that what is the total profit of baby food items sold where the sales channel is online? Good. And order of priority is H. And order of priority is H. So you can go ahead now. And order of priority is H. H.
Okay. You can see it, Abby.
Have you added okay. Okay, we are still modifying your code. Go ahead. Remember to add the third criteria which we are trying to confirm.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, good. And all right. So let's execute now.
It accepted it, though.
Yeah, no, call out the value. Let's get value. So I will be sure that perfect. So you can see it. So even if you want to go on and on, just keep introducing that and. All right. So at least we have confirmed that.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Okay. So I was talking about looking at another concept, which is optional. Some of us we find this easier or even difficult. So you have the choice to choose. Now, that same thing that we have just concluded, we want to use variable concepts. So why are we bringing in variable? So the entire concept is that we want to, first of all, store the criteria in variable. And when we get to where we need to quote the criteria with the double quote, we will now use at. We will now reference the variable where we must have stored those criteria. That is the whole idea. Now look at this here. This is exactly what we are looking at. So that same question or equivalent to that same question we want to answer now. So which means that the first criteria, which is the item type, you must have stored it in a variable. Then the second criteria, which is the seed channel, you must also store it in a variable. And then, of course, the third criteria, which is the order of priority, will have also be stored in another variable. Now, look at what makes this code different from the previous one. Now, in the previous code, after you activated the single string, you were acknowledging the criteria with what? Double what? Quotes. But this time around, instead of acknowledging them with double quotes, you are using @ and then calling the name of the variable where they are already stored in. Then when you got to where you wanted to call the second criteria, you also use @ to reference its variable. So let's quickly go to our data set to apply it so that it will look more.
So you mean like where we have baby food now, we use @
Yes. Now let me just do it so that you understand it. Let me label it application of same aggregate functions, but using variable constants. So the question is, what is the total revenue for baby food where sales channel is offline, and okay, where sales channel, because I can't go for 3 because of I don't want to go through. With your own, you can add the other because you have your header modified. So now the first thing is store all your analysis criteria in variable. That's the first thing. Okay, now let's say we want to answer that question. Let's say baby underscore food item equals to the name of my data set, Amazon.query. Now, single string is still constant. Now, the first criteria, what I'm going to do, I specified that we start by storing them in variables. So I will say, okay, the first criteria is baby food. So I will say what? Baby underscore food. First equals to, I will use the double quotes to store it in the variable, which is, item type. Here will be item type. Item underscore type is equals to, I have my equals already, equals to baby food. Now that baby food must be saved according to the way it is in your data set. Control C. But your variable can take any case. That
is whether it has underline or what.
Your variable here, like item type, it must not be the way you spell it in your data set.
Yes, okay.
But the value you are storing inside it must correspond with the way it is in your data set. So this is the first variable. Now, if you look at the question also mentions sales channel equals to offline. So I will now come here and say what? Sales channel. So this one I'm creating it myself. I can say sales. I can even say just sales, but let me complete it. Sales channel is equals to So I must copy it the way it is in the data set, which is what? Online. Did I say online or offline? Offline.
Offline.
So I'll take it from here. Then also, so all you need to do is just to make sure that you store all your criteria in variable. Where you are going for 3 criteria, you create the third one like you are going to do now. You also store order or priority equals to H. But in my own case now, I'm going with just what? 2 criteria. Then you can now come to the question, to the main syntax now. Okay, now here, what you are going to put here is that you are still referencing the header the way it is in your data set, which is what? The first variable, the first criteria you store in the variable is baby food. And baby food is under item what? Type. So I'll take this item type. So like I said, it is optional. So if you find this easier, then you can go with it. Now, after your equals to, you will now do at. And then once you add the at, this is what you are collecting, the variable where you store that criteria instead of calling it and double quote it. So you will now pass
Okay.
it here. That is just a logic because you have already stored them in. Then you will now do and the same thing. And the second criteria you store in the second variable, the header that hold it or that created it, you also copy it, which is sys channel. Then the same thing, let's keep timing out. And this then equals to then at, you reference the variable where you must have stored the criteria value. So Control C, and then you paste it here. So this, the only thing that is eliminated is the double quote, because you are referencing, which is now replaced with what? The at. Then you are still selecting the header with the values you want to summarize or count. So in this case, like we mentioned in the question, is total revenue. So let me get my total revenue from here. Get some total revenue from here. And then concatenate the function, which is the either sum or count or mean. So if I run it, you see that we get the same result. So let me call my data object to be able to output the results. So you can see it here now. So it is now left for you. Either you use the variable concept where you store all your criteria in variable and reference them with the at symbol, or you go with the first one. So try it now. Your own case, you are doing for 3. Make sure that you add that order of priority. So use this
No
same variable
problem.
concept. So you can share your screen now. Let's see what you are also doing over there.
I'm going to use abbreviation.
Yeah,
Baby food
yeah, good.
equals to.
Okay.
Hope you are seeing it well.
Yes, I am.
My screen is seizing. Just 1 minute.
Okay.
But I missed something. I'm true.
All right. Have you output? Okay.
Check what I did.
Yeah, it's correct.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, so let's quickly conclude this aspect because I really want us to conclude this aspect so that the next class will look at the last phase, which is the visualization, that's graph. So you can unshare your screen now. All right, so that is the application of the variable method. Now let's quickly round up this aspect of analysis with aggregate function with aggregating multiple columns. Now, you will find out that there are some instances where this one will be unavoidable when it comes to answering. Can I refer to them as categorical data? Categorical data, you will definitely need to aggregate value against multiple columns. So that is a concept. So how do we go about that? Just to give us a kind of a snapshot of what it look like before we go for the application. So if you look at what we have done so far, you will notice that we were aggregating per one categorical data. For example, we pick item type, baby food, and we got the corresponding summation of value that pertain to that particular unique products. Now, let's assume that all the products under the item type, we want to list them and aggregate their total profit or total revenue against them instead of taking them one after the other. So that is the essence of you also understanding how to aggregate value for multiple columns. So let's quickly look at, so this is just like the output. So let's use the data we are working with to apply it for clarity purpose. So what we are doing here now is application of same aggregates functions, but for multiple columns. So for example, what is the analysis type? Or the question rather, what is the total revenue per, you can see it now, per product, you can see that, or per item type. So this question is 100% different from. So this time around, you are not going to get the total revenue for baby food, but we are going to get for all of them. So this is where you will now be able to study your report and know the trending product and the list. Then from there, you'll be able to give them the right advice. So the syntax will be, let's create a variable, an object. So let's say multiple is equals to the name of the data set, which is still this. Now, but here our focus is on group functions. So what we are applying here is group by. That is the concept. What we are applying here is the group by function, because we are aggregating across multiple columns. So we have to group all those columns and what aggregates their value against them. So after you call the name of your data set, then you activate the function, which is what? Group by. Group by is a function when you are doing multiple columns aggregation. Now, for this, you must define the column that will be used as the criteria.
You didn't put dot between group by and Amazon.
Thank you for that observation. Show that you are following. Now, you must specify the criteria header. In other words, there must be a particular header that contain the unique or the categorical values that you want to aggregate their value against. In this case, now, if you look at the question, it says, what is the total revenue per item type? In other words, the criteria for summing the values under revenue is based on what? The selected what? Item type. So which is that I'm going to bring in by inside it, by. So this by is an attribute which is used to select that particular header with the unique values you want to aggregate their value. So I'm taking the item type according to my analysis question, and then I am going to recognize it here as a string also. So which means that what we have done here is that, okay, now you have identified the column where you have the unique categorical data to be listed, where the values under total revenue will be aggregated to. That is the meaning of this. Now, after that, you have to still select, but this time around, you have to select two square brackets because we are targeting what? Multiple column. So two square brackets, and then the criteria for the summation, the values you are summarizing against the unique categorical data under item type comes in here. So if you go back to your question, what was mentioned is the total revenue. So which means that what I am to supply there is my total revenue. You see? And then come back here. All right. So now finally, you can now concatenate which function do you want to use for the aggregation. Is it sum? Is it count? Is it mean? The same thing. So let's do for sum first. So if I run it now, I get my result. Now I want to see the output. I will call my data object, which is the multiple. And then once you run it, check what happened. You can see that what it listed out all the unique products, all the unique item type, and give you their corresponding what? Total revenue. So in this case now, for you to have it properly presented, you have to, because you can see where this header and this header, they are not on the same level. So which means that what I will do here is to bring in what? Serial number, so that it will force this to be on the same level by adding dot what? Reset, which I must have taught you before, the reset underscore index. So once I add this, in other words, add the serial number to the result, and that will give me the proper word presentation of my data. So it is something like this that you can now visualize, you can now represent with graph, so that you can easily identify the trend, the pattern of the dispersion between one unique data from the other. So this is very, very important. So it's a must known method. You must know it, the group method, because this has saved you from doing it one after the other before you now draw your conclusion. So with this, you can easily, if the data are not sorted, you can easily apply the words, the values underscore sort, and then choose revenue, total, or item type, and rearrange everything for you to easily identify. But even without that, if you plot this with graph, let's say bar chart graph, you are going to easily identify the highest, but you are expected to look at it and write your observation, which one is the highest, followed by which item, and then which items happen to underperform. So you need to point out all this to the company so that they can be guided when next they want to probably run an advert or they want to reinvest certain part of their capital. I hope that is clear so that I can allow you to do it as well. So
Yes,
I can copy this now, and if I could just paste it here, and then let me add this to just to change it. Let's say multiple one, and then here multiple one, and then change it to count, so that you know that you can do it for both count and average and sum. So if I run this now, so you can see it now. So with this, I can also know the count, the total numbers of item that generated this respective summation of value. So I can also do it for average. So let me just put here just to differentiate this object from the other object. And then I change here to mean. So if I run it, So I get their corresponding what? Average. So you can see that it's very, very powerful when it comes to aggregating value. Any question?
No question.
Okay, so this is the end of the aggregate analysis, all the way from general where there is no condition, then down to single aggregation, then followed by multiple, and then of course, ending it with what? The group by. So this brings us to the end of this second phase of data analysis with Python. So the next class, we shall be looking at how to visualize with graph. So like a report like this, is good you also present a graphical version of it because it helps us to easily identify trend, pattern, and outlier. So there's no question that we stop here. So next week, Sunday, is this particular training for now is running only on Sundays. Please, Saturday, use this to do your projects because very soon there will be a final project presentation by every member that registered for this program. So I skipped that Saturday so that we can have time to start putting a project together. Any question?
No question.
All right. All right. All right.
I wanted to try it.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Let me unshare. You can share. Please, you can share your screen. Let me see what you are doing there. I can't see it yet.
Okay. You say multiple dot reset dot index.
Yes, yes. In order for you to view the headers, dot reset underscore index, reset underscore index. Open a bracket for the index. Oh yeah, run it. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So you can also copy and do for sum, sorry, for count, for mean. Make sure that you update the data object name so that there won't be conflict. Mhm.
Are we okay? I think he got it.
Yes, I'm coming. Yeah, perfect, perfect. So do for mean as well. Perfect.
I've done it.
All right. So at least just for you to look at, just start a project. At least everything we did today, you have confirmed them. But just pick a different data set and see how you can answer a lot of analysis questions with all this set of functions. That is your project before or Sunday. Create a different notebook, get a very rich data set, and then perform your data cleaning. Then perform all the aggregate analysis that we have done down to this very one. So before I continue on Sunday, I'll look at that notebook. So everybody should do the same thing. Everybody should do the same thing. All right, sir. Good night.
I appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
Have a nice week ahead. So we see on Tuesday and Thursday for the sequel.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right.
I appreciate you.